Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? I know it's been a few months. Wow, time flies. The week before Christmas, my husband had complete knee replacement surgery, and that went really well. The week after, which would have been the day after Christmas, my husband had to go into the hospital on something unrelated, and he was there for a few days. And of course, I was there every day, and when he came home, I pretty much not wanted to leave his side, and so that's why I haven't really filmed anything. Plus, he does the filming and the editing, but he's much better now, and I have done a little bit of work in the garden, but I just haven't had the camera on because he hasn't been able to get out and about. Him having to go into the hospital delayed his physical therapy for his knee, so his recovery, although it's going well, has been a little bit on the slower side. But today I am back in our raised bed garden. I need to replace some herbs that I've either used all up or, you know, the winter has taken them. We really don't get really super cold here in the evenings. I think the last few months we've had, most of our nights have been in the 30s, and that really isn't that cold. But sometimes, you know, that can take some of your plants. So I'm going to replace a few herbs, get some lettuce in the ground, not really do a whole lot because we are going to warm up here pretty quick. The other day, we were at Home Goods and I saw these two pots. They're plastic. They're 18 inches tall and wide. And I liked the design, and I do like that they're gray. However, when I got them home and I had them out in the sunlight, they just looked very dull and washed out. So we picked up some satin black paint, and I wanted to show you the difference. We painted this one yesterday, and we still need to paint this one. And I do like how it looks with it painted black. I am going to plant dahlias for the first time in pots. I've never done that. I've had them in the ground, and for the first few years, they came up all the time and they were doing great. I have them on their own drip. I'm not sure why each year they weren't coming up as prolific, if you will, as they did the year before. So I thought, well, I'm going to try them in pots. My mom grows dahlias in pots, and every time I'm over her house during the summertime, she just has blooms like crazy, and I thought, well, I'm going to try that this year. So this is all I bought, so I'm just going to put a few of the tubers in each pot. I will show you in just a few minutes where we're going to place them. There's a spot there where you can drill the hole, and I will bring drip up and they'll be on their own drip. And I'm hoping that they receive enough sun. Maybe that was the problem where I had them before, that I will have some success with them. We'll see. I just wanted to show you that. And lastly, I want to replace the begonias that I'm going to prune back and plant out in our landscape, and put some violas and foxtail fern in the front window box. What I planted is butter lettuce, a cherry tomato over here, a sweet bell pepper here, rosemary, Greek oregano, cilantro. This is thyme that I've been using and it's coming down to the end. I probably need to replace it. I don't know if it's going to come back and be more full, but I've been cutting off of it every week during the winter months. Dill, chives, and again, this is sage from when I had last year, and you can tell that this is already starting to push more growth, so I'll probably just prune this back. I don't think I need to buy another sage. Also, I'll make sure that I post a photo in the evening or at dusk. My husband ran lights around the perimeter of our garden. Now, I'm not out here that often in the evening where I would need it, but I do feel like when we have people over and it just kind of helps light up the whole area when we're out sitting by the fire and enjoying a cup of coffee or some hot cocoa. This serrano pepper is the last I have of the peppers. The jalapeno I've already pulled out. I think we had a Thai pepper plant. This is my husband's favorite pepper, and I don't eat them, but he says it doesn't matter if they're orange, red, or green. They're very, very hot, and we've been enjoying it all winter long. He has, not me. All right, let's go do the window box by the front door. These I planted early last summer. Begonias for us typically are annuals. I did do an experiment underneath our redwoods and in front of our Merit Supreme hydrangeas over here in our back garden to see if I could winter them over and if they would come back. I would say 80% came back, and that's a pretty good success rate, I feel like, for me. These, you can tell, are looking a little worse for wear. I'm going to cut them down and I'm going to show you all the new growth that's at the bottom. I probably should wait until we're completely out of the woods with the cold nights, but I've already cut the rest of them back and they're all doing fine. I'm going to do the same with these, pull them out, replace the ones that I've lost by the Merit Supreme hydrangeas, and then we'll freshen up this box. So let me put my glasses on so I can cut them and then show you what they look like. Okay, if you can bring the camera in, if you look at all this new growth right down in here, they're gonna come back and look even fuller than they did when I originally planted them. So I might even take this down even a little bit more, but right for now, I'm gonna keep them like this, go ahead and trim off the rest of them, pull them up, and in the next few days, get them in our back garden. It is supposed to rain tonight, starting for 3 days straight. I think they're calling it super soaker or atmospheric river, something like that. So we need it desperately. We have really had no rain this winter at all. I'm looking forward to it. It'll bring some snow to the mountains and it'll fill up our reservoirs. So we're in desperate need of it. It's been a few days, and that's because when I finished the window box by our front door, it started to rain, and then it rained for 2-3 days after that. You can tell I cleaned this flower bed a little bit because when it rains, we have the redwood needle leaves that fall and they just get stuck on everything. The lantana is already pushing new growth. The ranunculus are coming up. And if the camera can come in a little bit closer, you can see that the purple trailing lantana has already started to push growth. And all this that looks like it's dead will be completely green, full of purple flowers within, probably the next month and a half. And it will go all the way until probably November or December. They stay, this is one of the plants that I have that lasts the longest in the garden. And you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, you planted way too many dahlias close together. And I did. But I just want to see if any of them come up, because when I've had them in the ground, I've had mixed success with them. So we're going to see how it goes. I ran black poly up through the hole before I put soil in, and I'm going to cap this off. I'm not going to quite run the brown 1/4-inch drip tubing yet until I see some growth on the dahlias, and that's probably not going to be for a little bit of time. It took me a few minutes to decide exactly where to have them, the pots in reference to the fountain. And I normally have the fountain on, but because I'm standing so close to it, it would be loud and interfere with me talking. But I had to stand back a ways to make sure that they were centered next to the fountain. I am hoping that I get some dahlias this year. They grow, these particular ones that I planted grow between 36 and 39 inches tall. So I don't know if I'm going to have to necessarily stake them. I might, we'll see how it goes, but this area right here receives sun from sunup till sundown. So I'm hoping that I'm going to have better success over here. You can probably tell from behind me, you can see the geraniums are already putting out blooms, and that little purple plant that you see there, if you can believe it, those are the petunias that I planted last summer. And for those of you who've watched me for a little bit of time, I fail miserably every year at petunias. Those stayed and grew all through the season. I've trimmed them only once because they were coming into the lawn, and I'm going to keep them there. I thought for sure that they would die during the winter, but they look great. I know you haven't seen me in a couple of weeks. Well, more like a couple of months. But now that my husband is feeling much better and on the road to recovery with his knee, I'll be putting more videos out. And I actually have something kind of exciting. I'm redoing part of a flower bed up front, and I have to go purchase what I want to put up there, and I'm super excited about what I'm planting up there, and I can't wait to show you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.